Hey everyone, it's Cynthia at Including You Journals. I'm so glad you could join me. I'm sitting here crafting tonight and thought, oh, I better turn the camera on. Maybe I could share an idea of what I'm doing. I saw I have exploded these 3 coin envelopes made of tissue paper and also tracing paper. The white is tracing paper. The 2 top and bottom are tissue paper. And I added those because I thought they were really cute and I wanted to try something. You'll see here some stamps. This is a 1-cent stamp and a 3-cent stamp. And so I have 2 ideas going on from 2 different ladies, and I do want to share their names. Number 1, I believe it was Kathleen Mower, M-O-W-E-R, and she is on YouTube, that I saw do a page with some envelopes. And she had maybe 3 on a page, and they were, I don't even think they were coin envelopes, but she just used them to sort of decorate her page. And then the second idea is the use of these stamps. So let me pull this out of the way, and then I'll come back and start and show you what I have done and let you finish up with me. But I do want to share this with us because one of the things that is interesting when we're getting started with junk journaling is we need lots of supplies. We see lots of different videos from lots of ladies, and that's wonderful. But when you're beginning, you don't have those. Now, these are not vintage stamps, but I saw Margaret Miller use these the other day in her channel, and it's a sheet of 1-cent stamps and a sheet of 3-cent stamps. And I didn't go online and check it out, but I did ask the lady and the clerk at the post office, do you have sheets with other denominations? Because I bought maybe 10 sheets of the 1 cent, the green or the 1, is that right? The green or the 1-cent stamps. And I bought 10 sheets of those and 3 sheets of these little 3-cent stamps. Look how pretty that teapot is, and look at the color that is used there. And look at the colors in this. Of course, I have it upside down. It's a lamp of this 1-cent stamp. Well, I paid, I believe it was less than $4 for all of these sheets. Well, that's an easy way to get started. No, the stamps are not vintage. No, they're not antique. No, they're not old. But it's something that I can use as I'm starting out, and I wanted to get them to play with them just to give all of us an idea of that and maybe help spread more of what Margaret Miller was doing with using these as well. And I intend to get online and look at, I was told, the clerk said, oh yes, we do have sheets, and she said of varying denominations, and they're all different colors, and she said they're right pretty stamps. And I thought she was right. And I got the 1 and the 3 because that's what Margaret Miller was using. Didn't even think about other denominations until I stepped up to the clerk. She was so busy, I just simply would not make everybody wait for her to go get some more pages for me to look at. But I will check it out online. So this is where I've started with this. And how I wanted to use these stamps was I wanted them to help hold down the fold of an envelope. So I didn't want a button. I just wanted something that would hold, kind of like a matchbook, how you let half of it, the part up here, not be glued down and this part be glued down. So all I did was stick this on a piece of manila envelope, not envelope, folder, manila folder. And I didn't want to cut those little stamp edges because I like seeing that it shows that it's a stamp. But I wanted the thickness of this. That's why I put it on the manila card base. And just cardstock would do fine with that. And I assume any color because you could certainly distress it. But this is what I had handy, and that's what I chose. So look, now you have this wonderful sheet, just like this, or not sheet, but this little stamp, and you can tell that it is a stamp. And it's quite hefty, and it works as a great closure, especially if you're using like a matchbox, excuse me, I can't speak tonight, a matchbox closure. So let me go back to what I'm working on and show you where I started. I couldn't get this page to lie flat because I had all of this book. I'm just looking to see, okay, I don't know if you can see how much there. There's quite a bit of chunk. And so all I did was bring a book that I could lay this flat on and work on it. I've used a cheap piece of Dollar Tree lace, not linen, not cotton. I didn't have that handy, but I did have some of this little cheap lace. I would not use expensive lace to do this because I don't want it to be hidden. Yes, when you open the page, you can see it, but when it's closed, you don't see it. So all I did was take one of those trifold big pages that I like to make to use as a flip. This is my last signature and the very last page of that. So it was already decorated, and the back had nothing on it, just part of the book page. And then I simply put, you can see here, I glued this half down of the piece of lace, and I glued the other half down here. I had that book there so that I could kind of hold it down and work with it. That was great to give me a solid solid table background right there to actually work on. Okay, then after I did that, this is where I wanted to do that great little envelope piece. I think I've made a mistake. Well, I know I made a mistake, and I'm going to point that out as we go. But you'll notice the two little stamps that I use, the 1 cent and the 3 cent stamp. And it's so easy because you only glue down the bottom part and leave the top part as is, and that just slides in and out both. It holds it down so that when I want to close the page, because if you start to close the page, you can see these flaps are up. Well, they're going to get bent and folded, and they'll be misshapen, and maybe because the material is so thin, this could also tear. We don't want that to happen. So you do, or I did, want to use these in such a way as to glue those down. All I did was put my stamp where I wanted it to go, part of the way under. I put a little glue on the bottom half of it right here, on the other side, of course, and then slid my top down underneath there. It's a very simple, very easy trick. You could use buttons the same way. We also sometimes use these little hole punches. Sometimes you will see them use a brad to go through the circle. I said hole punch, but this is a circle punch. You'll see somebody put maybe glue 2 or 3 little circles together and poke a hole in the center of it and put a brad through, and then use that down to maybe hold it down, or to use a string from one area. There's lots of ways that you can close this. I wanted a very simple, easy one because this paper is very thin and fragile, and I didn't want to tear it. Well, the way I put this middle envelope on, I could not close the lid of it here, and I could have cut it down maybe a little bit, but I thought, oh, that'll show. I just cut it off. So I don't know yet if I'm going to leave it that way. I certainly would not want to charge for that, so that's going to have to be a decision that I make, whether I cut this whole thing out and start over again or not. But I was just playing around and wanted to be working, and I don't typically work in a book and create something that I've never done before, but hello, I was tonight. Well, I've been working with these wonderful little ticket shapes instead of tag shapes, just because I wanted something different. So all this is scrap of paper, a piece of that, and again, here's one of those stamps, and you can see there are labels there. I made them long enough to fit into the little coin holder. There's one, and I'm going to fold him down and close him up. I'll show you how I made the coin folders in 1 second. Here's the next ticket. A little piece of, this is a digital. I didn't put any backing on it. I left it just like it was. Found a fussy cut butterfly and a little label, and then he goes into his slot. Here, I used on the top of this bag a fussy cut iris. You can see that. And left him like that. I thought that added to just the design of what I was trying to accomplish. I'll also tell you that I only glued here and here on every one of the envelopes. If you've ever watched me, you'll know that I really like, instead of using pockets, I want to use a tuck always. I can get larger items behind a tuck. If I wanted to come in here and use this as a tuck and I wanted something larger in there, I don't have to worry about cutting it down to fit into a pocket. And that is just a typical way that I kind of like to fly. So there it is. And no, I wouldn't have it hanging off the page, but I'm just showing you that something large can actually fit behind there. And I did that for all 3 of the envelopes. Okay, before I show you how to make the envelope, let me show you how I made the, let's finish the ticket and then we'll make an envelope. And I'll just show you how I did that, moving that out of the way. The ticket was a simple piece of paper that was, let's see, I meant to bring something out about that height and I didn't. You make it whatever height you want it to be a ticket. A ticket to me is not this square, so I'll cut it down a little bit and we'll go about right there. For a small ticket, I can use a simple hole punch and just go to each corner. Let me cut this ink off here. I think it looks better just as you're watching. And if I can put that white under there, you might be able to see what I'm doing easier. I just go up underneath the corner. Well, I went 2 up underneath the corner because I couldn't see what I was doing, and I'm cutting just a little notch out there. That's really a little bit too much, not enough. And you can come back in here and make that edge not so sharp. There you go. And now you can see I have kind of a ticket shape going on that end. What I did on these larger pieces of paper is I used my circle punch, came in at the corner, did that, and I hope you're able to see that, and there I have that. And I think I like that better than the smaller one, so I'm going to go right back in here and take care of that. And here. And I will lay this out flat. Sorry, I didn't get it all. 1 second while I'm looking. Okay, and I'm going to lay it right on top of that white so you can see what it looks like. You have a ticket shape now. It's the same kind of thing, the same idea as using a tag. We just don't have a tag shape. We're switching it up, changing it about, and that's all the only reason I'm doing that. Okay, so here's a ticket I can decorate and use in another pocket somewhere else. For this little ticket, I really loved all these little curly cues on this paper. I have a little butterfly here. I had a dark blue, medium blue rather, butterfly, larger butterfly on one of the other tickets. This one I'm just using the small butterfly. A blue toned label here. I'm going to let that be it. I could decorate to my heart's desire. You can decorate to your heart's desire, but this will be one of the tickets that will go in. Let me pull it in and show. Okay, make sure I'm in the middle. Okay, here's my book, and this is the one little coin pocket I didn't have. Now that ticket, all 3 tickets were fine. Even though I cut that lid off and had that little bit of overflow right there, I was still able, and that is over. Okay, so he will lie down flat there. Okay, and I still am able to get this ticket in and out unimpeded. There's no problem with that. I like that. I think it's fun. It's something different, and I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you to Kathleen Mower for the inspiration for displaying the envelopes on the page. Again, I think she had regular envelopes. It may have been coin envelopes. I don't know. It's been a few days since I've seen it. And thank you to Margaret Miller for showing us those stamps. I love the fact that we can use that. And I like the fact that I can use in my book something large. And I had this so laid over is the reason I'm just sort of pulling it all back toward me so that the spine is now a flat spine and everything holds together. Now, let me show you, if you'd like to stay, how to make the coin envelope. This is a sheet of 6x6 paper. All I did, sorry while I look just to make sure good I'm in the center, I did not do any measuring. I simply folded over. That might be about 2 inches right there, I'm not sure. Then I fold over a little bit more. Boy, I folded way too far right there. but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You can make them however wide or not that you want. My center line of crossover was smaller than that, but it doesn't matter. Okay, and then for the bottom, I'm going to come up here and make a little fold this way. For the lid or the top, I'm going to fold down as far as I think it looks good. I think about right there, and I'm going to make a fold. Then I simply open it all back up again, and you probably know what's next. If you haven't seen this before, I'm going to cut out the 4 corners. So here's a corner, here's a corner, here's a corner, and here's a corner. And I'll show you how easily that goes. I give just a little bit of downward turn there. You can see I'm not going straight here. I'm coming in just a smidgen. Same thing with down the side. I don't want to go way down this way, but I do want to come down just a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to be able to come in and glue here and pull that down, and I'm going to glue all the way over here on this corner, and I'm going to glue on the end of this corner, on the edge of this side rather. Sorry, I'm trying to go too fast. I will glue on the bottom, down the sides and the bottom. Do not come up here and glue, or you'll glue part of your envelope shut, and then I'll pull that up over the top. Now, the reason you pull it over the top rather than sticking it inside is whatever you want to put on the inside of it then will get caught on that piece right there. So if you put it on the outside, it doesn't get caught, and you have all of that room from top to bottom to be able to use that. Okay, and then the last thing I do is I will cut again, come down just a hair off of that line into the point. Same thing with the top, come in just a hair and down to the point. Come over a smidgen to the left of the line. Come over a smidgen from the right of the line so that you just have angle. Okay, let's go ahead and glue it. If you're still with me and want to stay, remember we'll do the insides first. I want to do this edge, and then I want to do this edge to make sure that I don't have any kinds of odd folds inside or outside. Maybe you can see there's a line there and there. This is where the smushers come in handy, and if you don't think that works, all you have to do is use it on a piece of tissue paper or copy paper, not copy paper, what is this, tracing paper, and buddy, you can see how that glue just flattens right out. You can also fill it with your fingers, and I'm just lifting it up to make sure I don't have any overflow and sticking on the inside of my envelope before I move forward, and it feels pretty dry. Okay, then we said that we had the bottom of this out. We're only going to glue the sides, down this side, and across that very bottom, and we don't need any further glue. Folding back up and down. You don't have to use a bone folder. You can use, I typically use scissors. This little thing I bought at the Dollar Tree. So it's up to you whether you want to use that. Now we have, did I throw away? No, I didn't. Right there it is. Now we have this edge here. If you want to cut the edges off, you can do that. You can also use a corner rounder. I will tell you that my corner rounder will not cut the tissue pages. So what I have to do is I have to stick another piece of paper. This is part of that manila cardstock, and I've just lined it up with that corner, and I will stick it into my corner rounder and try to let you see. I hope the camera picks that up. And now I have that corner rounded just fine. Okay, now you can see it on the pink better, where this side's not done. But that, all the corner rounder will do on the tissue paper for me is it folds that tissue paper. It's not, or the tracing paper, it's just not strong enough to get it all. Okay, same thing, I've lined it up there in the corner, placing that in my corner rounder, and voila, I have a coin envelope. And I told you you're going to glue the bottom portion. I don't even glue it halfway, I just glue the bottom. That's a lot of glue. I only want to stick a little bit underneath there, so I pull my stamp down, press down the glue part, and there's my lid that can go under. It works a lot like a matchbook, and there you have it. Easy peasy coin envelope. All right, I hope you enjoyed something today, or not just enjoyed it. I do hope you enjoyed it, but I hope you found something that maybe will spark your creativity as well, and that you take this further than what you saw me do today. Again, thank you to Margaret Miller and Kathleen Mower for your ideas. How much I love watching all of the different crafters who come on and do card making and journal making, and the sewing that is done. The slow stitches are so much fun to watch and to learn and get ideas from. We all tweak them and make them into our own thing, and that's a little bit of what we've done here tonight. I hope you have a great day today. Whether it is, since I'm videotaping ahead of time, I don't know if you will get this at the first of the week or at the first of your weekend. So whenever it is, I hope things are going well for you, and that you're able to choose joy in all things and find it in every place you look, and have fun crafting. I hope you'll join me again. Thank you. Bye.